Hey everyone, welcome to day 2 of our 28-day beginner challenge. Today we're going to be doing a Tabata workout. Our first two movements here are tension lunges. We're going to start with the right leg and then go to the left leg. What Tabata is 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Now you can use Tabata in many different ways. You could do 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off. You could do a minute on, 30 seconds off, but it's a 2-to-1 ratio is what it is. And so Tabata is a really great way to get high intensity interval training in, which has been proven to burn extra calories, build muscle, and these are all very low impact movements here, as you can see. So with these tension lunges, if you have some balance issues, you want to make sure that you are widening your feet out. You can see right there, I've got my hands placed on my knees. That's a modification that you can use, again, if you have some balance issues or you just start getting tired. Next, we have a sumo pulse squat. So a sumo squat, we're going to get our feet wider than shoulder width apart. We're going to point our toes outwards. And what we're going to do is we're going to squat down, come up halfway, and then come up all the way. You should feel these in your booty, in your hips. And if you can't get all the way down because you got some mobility issues, that is absolutely okay. You got to work out where you are in your fitness level right now. But man, these are great for hamstrings, groin, glutes, hips. And then next we have a good old plank. Now, I'm going to get into a push-up plank. These are actually, for whatever reason, more comfortable for me. If you want to go down to your elbows, you can. You can also do a plank from your knees. The whole time we just want to make sure that we're squeezing our abs. The plank is a great core building exercise. And you know, it's only 20 seconds. You might feel your arms start to shake a little bit, and that's okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 rounds of 4 movements. And then we're going to do 3 total sets. So we're going to do a total of 12 movements for 12 minutes. So we're going back to our right-legged tension lunges. Now we call this a tension lunge because, again, we don't want to straighten that front leg all the way out. We want to keep the knee slightly bent. In the working out world, we call that time under tension, or TUT. And time under tension, again, is another really good proven technique to help build endurance and muscle. And you know, you don't have to lift a ton of weights, especially for a lot of us if we're in these beginning stages of our fitness journey. You can add some time under tension, and it'll give you a great workout. Now, the other thing that you can do here, if this is too easy for you, please feel free to add some weights, right? You can grab 2 dumbbells and hold them in either hand. You could grab 1 dumbbell and hold it underneath your chin, kind of like a goblet squat if you've ever done a goblet squat before. If you have plates at home, you can hold plates. You can also hold water bottles in each hand. Grab a gallon jug of water and hold it in both hands to add some resistance to these. So if you find that this is just way too easy, you can always add resistance. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you've taken some time off from working out, you know, my suggestion is always ease into it. And of course, if you're an absolute beginner, this is the very beginning of your fitness journey, then you know, go slow, take it easy. I tell people all the time, trust the process and be very patient. The last thing we want to do is hurt ourselves, injure ourselves, get so sore that we just don't want to do this anymore. Okay, so that's our first group of exercises. We're moving on to the second group of exercises, and we're going to start off with a single leg glute bridge with our left leg. Right, you can see that I've crossed my right leg or my right ankle over my left knee, and I'm lifting my butt off the ground. Now this one, I'm kind of pulsing these, so I'm very short range of motion. Again, that time under tension. You can come all the way down to the ground and all the way back up for more range of motion if you want. I find that I get a nice little burn in my glutes, my hamstrings when I pulse this movement. So now I'm on the right leg here. Okay. Again, cross your leg over as you can. If you want to get an extra core workout component to this, and I didn't do it in the video, but the leg that you're crossing over your knee, you can actually straighten that leg out straight up, and that'll work your core a little bit, work some flexibility and mobility as well. Okay. Next we have flutter kicks, tiny little flutter kicks. Again, a great core movement. As you can see, my hands are out to the side. If you have some abdominal weakness or some balance issues, you can always bring your hands in close to your body. You can even stick your hands underneath your butt, although I don't really like that a whole lot because you know, it just puts a little bit of pressure on your lower back, but you know, whatever feels comfortable for you. All right, lying pull downs. I'm on my stomach. My hands are straight out in front of me. I'm lifting my arms off the ground and then pulling my elbows back into my ribs. Even though we're not using any weight, and again, you can add weight to this if you want, what I'm doing is I pull my arms back into my body as I'm squeezing my back, okay? I'm squeezing my arms into my ribs, and if you've ever been to the gym and you've done a pull down, that is the movement we're simulating. And even for those of you out there, if you're very strong and you work out a lot, doing those lying pull downs will actually, you'll really feel it in your back and you actually get kind of sore. It's kind of cool without any weight at all. All right, second round of the second group of exercises, single leg glute bridges with my left leg. Again, I'm still pulsing that. You can get a bigger range of motion if you like. That's totally up to you. Fitness, you'll find, is very much about preference. There's certainly right and wrong ways to do things, and then there's a lot of gray area in between where you just have to fit it to your body, your preference, and your comfort level. Left-legged, single-legged glute bridges. Again, if you want to make this a little more difficult, straighten that top leg out straight up and get some core work. All right, here we go. Flutter kicks. Last time for flutter kicks. Again, nice little short range of motion. If you start to get really tired, one of the things that I would challenge you to do here is simply hold your legs off the ground. You know, again, if your abs are just weak right now, which is absolutely okay if that's where you're at, you can just do a simple leg lift and hold it. And that can be very beneficial as well. Okay, last set of lying pull downs. I got a yoga mat here. I'm outside. It is an absolutely beautiful evening. It's been really hot, and then it rained all week, and just a gorgeous evening. So I figured I'd record this video outside. I can see that a couple bugs fly in front of the camera, but it's not a huge deal. But it's just absolutely gorgeous. Again, you want to find a comfortable place to work out. It makes it a lot easier. All right, clamshells. Okay, I know these seem so old school, like old school workout videos from the 1980s, but man, clamshells. So I'm gonna really I'm gonna place my heels, or excuse me, my heels together, and I'm lifting my top leg, my right leg. Now, to make this really work, I want you to take a pause at the top and squeeze your butt cheeks. Okay, you should start feeling this in your hips, outer glute area. And again, you don't have to use any weight. Now, you can't really see it here, but one of the other setup pointers here, I want my thighs and my knees in line with my torso. So I'm not bringing my knees up towards my chest. I'm kind of scooting my knees back. So my whole body is straight except for my bent legs. And again, squeeze at the top. Get a nice squeeze in the booty butt there. Get really, really good hip and glute movement. All right, push-ups. This first round, I'm going to do modified push-ups. That's push-ups on my knees. As you can see, when I do modified push-ups, I still want to lean forward, right? I'm not in like a tabletop position. My knees are back behind my hips, and so when I lower myself to the ground, all the way to the ground, I'm still getting a good workout. And when I'm doing push-ups, I want to make sure that my elbows are as close to my body as I can get them. They're tracking along my ribs. Okay. All right, Supermans. Again, great core, especially lower back movement. Lifting both my legs and my arms off the ground. modifier here, if this is uncomfortable or you're having issues getting both arms and legs off the ground, just keep your legs on the ground and lift your arms up and give yourself a nice little back arch, okay? All right, here we go, clamshells again. Now listen, if you have small bands at home that fit around your legs, resistance bands, you can add resistance bands, and I will use bands in other videos, especially with clamshells. I love clamshells, especially if it's a day where I'm gonna squat. They do such a great job of priming the hips and the glutes, especially if you're going really heavy. But again, just a great movement if we do it correctly. Put a band right above your knee, okay, right above your knee, and it can add some really good resistance to this movement. So if you have bands, I would challenge you to do that. If you don't, it is totally not a big deal, okay? You can get a great workout and a great burn by using no weight, and that's pretty much with anything. All right, back to push-ups. Here I'm gonna do regular traditional push-ups. Kind of a misconception with push-ups is that, you know, I've got to go all the way down to the ground, touch your chest to the ground. You know, for some people, me, you know, my left shoulder, I've had surgery on my left shoulder, so sometimes going all the way to the ground just doesn't feel very good. I certainly don't want to go halfway. Halfway can be really rough on your elbows. It's kind of a weird angle for your elbows to stop halfway down. But you know, you gotta feel comfortable, and you don't want pain when you work out. It's already uncomfortable enough, so we don't want pain. I tell people all the time, it needs to be uncomfortable but not painful. Okay. And then lastly, this is our last movement. Those are Supermans again. Great core movement again. Modifier if you need to. Keep those legs on the ground and just lift your arms up. And that is it. Ladies and gentlemen, great workout, nice job, excellent job. Day 2 of our beginner 28-day challenge.